cooking up a great marketing plan for all of us as businesses. It's the start of the year. We want to start fresh. And I like to make my webinars as interactive as possible. So if you have questions, please post in chat. We can even ask you to unmute and we can talk back and forth. And I'm going to show you some overviews on what I think marketing can be for us as business owners and how I use AI to help with an actual marketing plan. So take off any shy hats that you might be wearing today because I am going to be asking for volunteers. Because like I said, it's cooking, it's digital marketing. It's just like a recipe. You need patience, you need ingredients, and to have a fresh perspective is always important. So a little bit about me. I'm Ronnie Ramos. My company is Harmony 3 Productions. And I started this company so I could go to play, not to work. I was thinking today that a lot of people I know are can't wait to retire. I love what I do. And I want you to feel that the elements that I'm talking about today, all of us as business owners wear so many hats. And these days, you have to wear that content creator hat. So I want to try today to make you love that part of it because I think that is phenomenal. And there's so many new tools today with AI using something like ChatGPT and Canva really makes it a lot easier than it has been in the past. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. I'm Ronnie Ramos, and on most other social, Harmony 3 Productions. So the good news is, I think that we can do less. And what I mean by that is putting our effort into one piece of bigger content and then parsing that out to smaller pieces so that we can actually create a library of content from one piece. Again, AI makes that so much easier than it has ever been. So what I want you to think about for your business, and all of our businesses are different from each other's, but we have the same needs. We need people to recognize us in the marketplace so that when they see us, they recognize us, right? They have to think about us as a trusted expert in our field, right? And maybe if you have products that product can really be helpful, can solve something that you have a problem with, or solve something that you think, oh, I didn't know I needed that, but I really do. So when we talk about content, there's a lot of options. Let's start with picking just 2 or 3 types of content. And that makes it easier. So you have 2 or 3 types that are kind of your go-to content. Maybe it's product demos, maybe it's testimonials, maybe it's videos, whatever you're comfortable. Let's think about focusing on very few things, 2 or 3 things to start. Now, you might think, okay, so I have 3 different things that I want to post about, kind of overarching types of content. But what would that one piece of content be? So don't be shy about asking your customers what they would like from you, because they know why they like your company. They know why they keep coming back to you. And you need to know what their opinion is on that. So you can put a survey up. You can send out a newsletter with a survey. You can ask people when you're meeting them in person or in a virtual networking event. Really get to know what they are actually looking for. Most of us also have a list of frequently asked questions, FAQs. Every one of those questions would be a great idea for a blog post that you would turn into a long form video, that you could turn into many short form videos, little sections of each one of the topics in that blog post, and then maybe social media posts from that. That's how you can get a library of content from one bigger piece of content. And I also really recommend that you do a little bit of competitor research. See what your competitors or people in your industry, even if they're not direct competitors, see what they're doing, see what types of content ads they're putting out, right? And don't just look at what they're doing recently, right now. Look at what they did last year. Have they changed a lot? Maybe you can figure out why they changed, and maybe that would help you so you don't have to go through that same learning curve. It's absolutely a great idea to see what people in your industry or your direct competitors are doing, right? And I want you to know your customers so well that you kind of can see them as a single person, that they have all of these different attributes kind of distilled into one persona. And that's who I want you to be talking to when you're making your content. You need to know their demographics and their age and their career and their locations. And how do they make decisions? Is it reviews? Are, testimonials great for you? Is it price? You do your research. And again, do your research on your competitors. Maybe they have activities that could relate to your business, right? Maybe you sell some yoga mat, but maybe they're also runners. So maybe you would think about reaching beyond your traditional vertical to adjacent industries to yours. And I love anything that makes it a little bit easier. So when I'm looking for content ideas, a lot of times I will go to YouTube, and YouTube has a search bar. I'm a big fan of email. I think all of us should have a really healthy email list. So in the search bar, because I thought, okay, I want to make either a blog post or a video about email, I started to type in the search bar. I was going to type email marketing. I only got email MA, email MA, and then this list came out from YouTube. Email marketing full course, email marketing for beginners, email marketing tutorial. All of these are great ideas for a blog or a video or a webinar about email, but they're not just suggestions. Again, this is from YouTube. Google owns YouTube, big search engine here. These are topics that people are actively searching for. So this is great intel, great ideas on things that people are actually searching for, keywords and key phrases to use in your description and your titles. So check out Google and YouTube for keywords, things that your customers are actually going to be searching for. And then use a couple of examples from that list, and then ask AI. I use ChatGPT every day for some other examples. So these days, there's no excuse for not having a list of things that you could create about, topics that you could create about for your particular business. Because AI takes the hard part out of all of that. AI transformed the way that we're generating everything from social media captions to ad copy to video scripts. Like I said, I use it absolutely every day. And as I said, think beyond your normal vertical. Think adjacent. So you're going to think a little bit bigger. Yes, you are still hitting the vertical of your target audience, but there might be things that are a little bit farther away, but still could really use your valuable insights, your products, your services. So I asked ChatGPT for some topics that, say, a business coach could explore that would broaden the reach, right? So typically, business coach might say, okay, my vertical is construction. I work with construction companies that want to, streamline their business operations, work with their financials, make sure that their team is doing great. But the things that business coach is talking about could apply to much wider sections of, business owners out there. So the topic, for example, role of leadership development in startups, many adjacent industries, tech startups, finance, they need strong leaders. So writing a blog post about that could reach a lot of different people. Crisis management, navigating through uncertainty. Uncertainty and crises are inevitable in any industry. So any of these topics would fit that business coach's very specific vertical and apply to people that were beyond that. So you're marketing to a bigger group, which is great. Using those keywords, key phrases, hashtags can really get your topic seen by a much wider group of people. If you start with a blog post, that gives you a lot of content. Again, you could take that into ChatGPT. Okay, here's my blog post. Turn that into a long form video script, or turn that into 5 short form video scripts for TikTok or Instagram Reels. Then now turn it into a dozen social media posts that I can post this month on this exact topic. And ChatGPT can do the hard work for you. Do I recommend that you use ChatGPT or any, they're called large language models, word for word? Absolutely not. I want you to put your own experience and expertise on it. But I got to tell you, for a way to not just look at a blank piece of paper, which to me can be terrifying, to really start that creative process for me going, it has really been a game changer for my business. But again, it can make huge mistakes. It can come up with things that don't have anything to do with your business. Read it carefully. Put your own experience and expertise, because it is representing you, anything that you are putting out on social. All right. You're also kind of marketing yourself these days. People want to do business with people and companies that they like. So post valuable content that is valuable to your audience, and be consistent with the look and feel of it, and consistent with how often you're posting, because the algorithms, they love consistency. And think about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is great for B2B businesses. Follow and engage with people in your field kind of helps you get noticed. Joining groups on LinkedIn is great, because then you can talk and converse and participate in topics that are in your industry. And yes, you might meet some great strategic partners that way, but you might learn some things too that are great. But a caveat with those groups: if you're going to join a group on LinkedIn or any online group, kind of just listen for a little bit, kind of read the room, see what the topics are, see if it's content that's interesting to you, see if that's content that you could make valuable contributions to. Because what you don't want to do is come across as a know-it-all. You want to give valuable feedback and, high fives when it's appropriate, not just to be in that group to be like, hey, I'm over here, look at me, right? This is just, groups on LinkedIn are just like in real life. You want to be a real person, engage authentically, and it's with your peers, so they really will know what you're talking about and know what those industry topics are about. So LinkedIn has a couple of websites that are from LinkedIn, and I check them out, on a month or every other month. Business.linkedin.com and business.linkedin.com marketing solutions. These are great because they really focus on businesses using LinkedIn for business, as opposed to, trying to find work or trying to find new employees. So I check back these websites on a regular basis. Really helpful to see what things are happening in LinkedIn and how people are using it creatively. Okay, the other thing that I love about LinkedIn, and we're talking about marketing our business, recommendations and connections. In my intro, you saw I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn, right? I said, on LinkedIn, I'm Ronnie Ramos. If you ask to connect with me on LinkedIn and you don't put a note in, right? So it says, do you want to put a note in with your request for a connection? Who's going to know why you want to connect? People send me connection requests all the time, and a lot of them are spam. So if you're asking someone that you don't know, that you say, I want to connect with them, we could be a good strategic partner, or I could learn something from them, whatever it is, let them know why you want to connect with them. Maybe you met somebody at a networking event. Remind them, say, oh, it's so nice to meet you at XYZ event. I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. Who's going to say no to that? But if you just send it out, so-and-so wants to connect with you, a lot of them these days are spam. So a lot of people don't accept those random connections. There's also recommendations. So always put in a personal note, remind them of what job you worked on or with them. Same thing with connections. Always add in that personal note. Now, best tips for success, I think, is that when you get the connections started, you follow and engage with people in your industry that you think it would be, good for you to follow. You could learn things from, or you want to connect with them. of course, offer value in your posts. Make sure that your branding and your scheduling are consistent, because again, algorithm loves consistency. Show your own expertise and remember to start conversations, right? You don't wait for somebody else to start the engagement with you. You start. And once in a while, absolutely, you can put a few personal posts up. Okay, so back to my cooking idea here. So what is the struggle that your clients are having? So they've got a pain point, they struggle with this, you have the solution. That's your post, that's your blog, that's your video. Problem, solution. Because if somebody has a problem and you have a solution for that one person, there's a lot of people who are going to have that same problem. And if they see how you helped someone, there's a very good chance they'll reach out to you when they have that same problem. So be encouraging and be engaging and give on your post, not always just be selling. Because that marketing online these days, it is a winding road, and it's not always able to say, this post got me this job or this sale or this new customer. I think online marketing is best used for brand awareness. So as I said before, they have a pain point. Is it struggling with something they don't like to do? Is it price? Whatever they struggle with, like I said, you've got a list of frequently asked questions. You can start there. Show them how to make that better. Maybe it's a how-to video. Maybe it's a case study of somebody that you've successfully helped. Inspire them with the result. Using emotion to connect with people. People really react on an emotional level. It, can pull on the heartstring, you can make somebody laugh, you can be inspirational. And don't forget music, a little underscore on your video. Music, you know how it can make you feel emotions. You are marketing your business, so don't forget your call to action. You can have the call to action up front. You're asking for something, and you'd be surprised how many times when you ask for something that people will actually do it. Maybe you, in your video, you have that call to action running the whole time at the bottom, right? Maybe you have it at the front and in the middle and at the end. Whatever is going to work for you, and you won't know what's going to work for you until you do some testing. That means once in a while, try it at the front, try it at the end, try it as a lower third on the bottom. What's going to get you the most engagement, and then do more of those. So your call to action can be a button or link. You want to make it as easy as you can. Is it sign up, donate, visit our website, follow me on YouTube or LinkedIn, whatever it is, that's your call to action. All right. Every generation is on social. So whether it's on Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn or YouTube, kind of every generation is on some platform of social. And again, do you have to be on every platform? You only know that answer when you know your audience and where they are. So Facebook, right now, it's more like family and friends, but a lot of people still follow brands on Facebook. Instagram and TikTok, a lot of that is for entertainment, but people absolutely follow brands. Twitter, now X, right? News, current events. You do best on Twitter if you're posting multiple times a day. If you don't have the energy for that, then maybe you don't need to be on that platform. YouTube is great because there's the opportunity for long form content, how-to videos, information, and people absolutely follow channels. And again, you are a marketer. You must know who your audience is. Speak in the voice they want to hear, right? If your audience is very professional, suit and tie, that's a different voice than if your audience is on TikTok. So you need to know what they are comfortable hearing. And when you're making videos and content, whether it's a video with a a title of the video or a newsletter with a title, don't mislead with that headline. Be clear and follow through. Whatever you say your video or content is going to be about, make it about that, absolutely. And test and review those tests. As I said, A/B testing, find out what's working. The things that work, repeat. The things that aren't working, make little adjustments. Don't change everything all at once, because then you're not going to know what worked. But if something is just not working, say for example in an email newsletter you're sending out, well, maybe you change the visual, maybe you change the subject line, but don't do everything all at once, or you are never going to know what did work. And on most email service providers, you can run that A/B test on that same email, so that gives you really good information about who's responding to your content. So sharing your story is really what it's about, because we love stories. We respond really well to stories. So how we craft our messaging is a story. So you're using visuals and video and images and graphics and your descriptions. You're letting them visualize what you offer as the solution. So show examples, case studies, testimonials are great. Use those images and words and music to create emotion, because like I said, we respond so well to emotion. What specifically can you or your product do to make their work easier? That's what they want to see. It's also a chance to show the history of your brand, your origin story. It's a great time you can showcase your staff. What do you do in the community? People want to work, again, with people that align with their values, that they feel comfortable with. These days on social, you're showing who you are, and a lot of times you will need to be on camera. If there's any way that you can, that right now is getting the most engagement, and it is the most authentic. All right, that part of the recipe is that call to action. Just like I was saying before, tell people what you want them to do and make it easy for them to do it. So make a link, make a button, visit our website, donate, sign up for our newsletter. Whatever their problem is, I want you to be seen as a trusted expert, their go-to resource. So whether it's your newsletter, your social, your website, I want them to be comfortable going to those places on a regular basis when they say, oh, I could use this. Oh, I get a newsletter from them every month. Maybe I can, click on a link there and go to their website, because they're offering helpful tips or great ideas. Think about what you're putting out there as 80-20. 80% of the time you are giving, you are being helpful. And only 20% of the time are you like, hey, buy this. Of course, that's the goal, is we're trying to get business. We're in business. But people are going to go the other direction if you're always like, hey, buy this, buy this, buy this, right? So remember that call to action. And I want that call to action on everything, but it doesn't have to be buy every time. But even if it is, it's a button. It's not like in your face as the main messaging. It's good to have an idea. A lot of people have a mission statement, right? It's defining your brand's values and identifying your brand's unique story, because this is what sets you apart. It can be the journey of how you got started, or the history of your company, or how a particular product came to be. So use that storytelling to showcase the benefits of your product or service and to create that emotional connection with your audience. I love the idea of sharing customer stories and testimonials and the impact that your brand has had on real people's lives. So it's a powerful way to build trust and credibility. Share stories about your employees or your customers and the positive impact that you're having in your community. Because you have just moments to tell that story. It's as quick as from closed to open. That's a whole story right there in just a couple of seconds. And because I'm still talking about it in terms of a recipe, I like to think of it in terms of the layers on a burger, right? All of these different layers can be different social platforms. It can be LinkedIn, it can be your email marketing, it can be TikTok, whatever those pieces are that you're working with, all the pieces together fit the visual form of your brand. Everywhere somebody sees you, your business, I want them to recognize it as you, your business. So everything should be branded. That's your fonts, the type of images that you use, your logo, your colors across your social media, your website, all that channel building, and even your newsletter. So anything that you are creating, and using something like Canva makes it very easy to do that. Okay, so I have not seen any questions in chat. So anybody want to volunteer, and let's kind of talk about your industry and see what we can use ChatGPT and Canva to actually create something that would really help you right now, right? I want to brainstorm in actual thing. So let me see in chat somebody that, or you can raise your hand, somebody that wants to play along here. All right, I'm not seeing anybody volunteer, so you know what? Veronica, I'm going to have you unmute, and let's kind of just take a walkthrough with Canva, and I'm going to show you how I would use Canva and ChatGPT.
Okay, sounds good.
Perfect. All right, so you had mentioned that you wanted to learn Canva a little bit more, so now's a perfect time. So let's say for Pace, that maybe Pace wants to do a social media post. So when you log into Canva, there's always like, what do you want to design today? So you tell it what you want to design. You can type it right here in the search bar, or you can go to these little circles that are shortcuts. I already clicked on the circle for social media. So we're going to say we want to do a Facebook post.
Okay.
So right now you're going to get a blank template. And when I say template, it's just the size that is appropriate for that Facebook post. I'm going to make it a little bigger here so you can see it a little bit better. So the first thing that you're going to do is decide what that template is. Right now it's just a square blank piece of paper. So I can go to the left over here where it says design, and then I'm going to type in something to let it kind of help me find a template that I like. So what would Pace want to do a Facebook post about? Would it be about a webinar coming up? What would you?
Actually, today we're working with the county and the city. They just released a grant for victims affected by the wildfires.
Oh,
So
perfect.
I would like to post the grant. Yeah.
Okay, so that's great because it might not have something exactly for that, but I'll show you how we can take something and fine tune it. So
Okay.
when I say, so it's a grant for people who are affected by the fires or disaster relief.
Yes.
So what if I put in, let me see if I put in disaster relief. Let's see if it
Mhm.
comes up. Oh, there's even one with dollars amount. So this is perfect.
Yeah.
So do you see, and we're going to customize everything. Do you see anything that you like just looking at it? Because we can customize absolutely anything.
Mhm.
I like this one that says community. So let's start.
Okay, we can do that one.
Okay. When floodwaters rise, we rise up as a community. I I love the thought of that, right?
Mm.
But we didn't really have a flood. We had the opposite. We had fires. So
Yeah.
I
Maybe
would,
the first one? I don't know. I don't know
but
what the
let's
first one.
let's try this
Okay.
because I'm just going to show you how we can customize it to our needs. I
Oh,
pick a
okay.
template that I like for whatever reason I like it because I know I can totally change it.
Oh,
So
okay.
I would go, I'm going to copy this. Then I'm going to go into ChatGPT and I am going to say, please give me, I'm always polite to it, a headline for a social media post. And we give it as much information as we can, but I don't ever give it any proprietary information. To replace this headline. And then I put the headline in there. So I'm telling it what I want it to replace. So basically I'm giving it, I need a headline. I'm going to put, this is for PACE. And it is to raise awareness for, is it for the city grant programs or?
Oh, it's called LA Wildfire Relief. I can get the actual name, but
I'll use LA Wildfire Relief
it's a fund. Yeah, sorry, fund.
Fund. Okay, let's see what it says. When wildfires rage, we stand together. Support the LA Wildfire Relief Fund. So I'm going to go, it's not about support, because again, that's a perfect example. I'm putting my own experience and expertise on it. Like, this wording is close, but it's not there. It's not a support. It is to give, what would it be? Community, businesses, access to relief funds. Helping LA businesses recover access wildfire relief funds through PACE. That's a lot better. That's great.
Yes.
Okay, so I like to just take that, copy it in there, and we'll do that. And we'll build that template so it looks good, reflects PACE. But we're still going to need a description to run with that. So I would do the same thing. I would ask this. I'm going to put great. Now a description, please, for that post. When wildfires disrupt our communities, local businesses need support to rebuild and recover. PACE is here to help. If your business has been impacted by the LA wildfires, you may be eligible for relief funds to get you back on your feet. Don't navigate this alone. Learn how to access the financial assistance available to you. Contact PACE today and see if you qualify. And it gives you hashtags. Hashtag LA wildfire relief, hashtag business recovery, hashtag PACE. Pretty darn good. And we did that in moments. So again, I would take, so that would be the description for the post you're going to make, but we're going to make that post reflect PACE now. So I would copy that headline, and then I'm going to take it up here, put it right here, and then helping LA businesses recover, and then I'm going to put the second line in the big text. Now, obviously that's way big and it's affecting the image, but remember, we can totally customize. So I'm going to bring this over now, this text. And I want the text to be on top of the image. So I go up here where it says position, I go to layers, and I'm going to put the image underneath all of that. Oh, still didn't go under wildfire. And you just can move them down as you need them. And the little text here, I'm just going to delete it because we don't need that, right? And then I like where it is, but this, there we are, is not where I want it. So it's easy just to bring it down, right? And you can see that the little lines line up. So easy to make this appropriate. Now I'm going to go to the picture, and I am going to move it over because I'm going to put another image in there. So if I go over here to elements, and we're going to put fire, disaster. And I'm just going to pick something. And if I take this over, it's going to drag it right into it. Okay, what I have to do is make it so it can hit this image. And you have to have it so it can touch that image. And the way to do it is you will see it pop into that aperture there. So you can
Mm,
see that went right
yeah.
in there. And I had to move the text over, but I know that I can just move that right back. So if I move our fires back over, I can move our text over. And then what I don't want is that purple layer over the fires. So I'm just going to delete that. Now, the relief funds doesn't really show against our fire there. So I can do a couple things. I can move the fire down, right? And then I could take that text and make it a little bit smaller. There, much better. And what are the paste colors? It's more of a blue green. It's not purple.
We're using like a baby blue. Um,
Like that color blue?
no, like that primary, the first one.
Oh, this one?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
it looks a little bit
perfect.
more like that.
Perfect. Okay, so then I would change all of those purple colors, right? And this one is still, we'll make that orangey red for right now, just so we can see it. So now that is much, much easier to read. I'm going to actually put paste down here. What I would do, I don't have it handy on my Canva, but I would put the paste logo here instead of just typing it out. But that's how easy it is to totally customize it. And then you could put content in, so you have the two conversation little diagrams. You could make that contact us today. You could put your information right there along the bottom. So that's looks totally different than what we started with, but starting to really reflect your brand. So any of you can do that with your business. Okay, anybody else want to use hand raised to see something for your personal business?
And we can unmute you so you can speak.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we can actually have a conversation.
Mm.
While you're thinking about playing along with this, and I hope somebody does, I'm going to show you what if you wanted to make this vertical as opposed to square. So you go to resize, and then we're going to say that we want to have it be social media and copy and resize. So you can pick any proportion and it will resize it for you. Are you going to have to make a few little changes? Yes, I
Mhm.
pretty much guarantee it. But it's done, again, the heavy lifting for you. So that text, I would just make it bigger. Move the little text over, put our line back. This text actually still is working here. I would definitely make this bigger, right? And that's how easy that is. Now this little talking point, I can group that and make that bigger all together. Perfect. And then at the bottom, yeah, I would put your contact information and you
Mhm.
could run that as a story. You can even add some little animation effects to it. So you can see that's stretching. That comes in and what they call is clarify. Block comes through, rise comes through, and then you can have that work at the front and at the back. When you add in those animation effects, you can download it as a GIF or as a little movie.
Now that you've made it more horizontal, um,
Vertical.
yeah, I'm sorry, vertical,
Yes.
will it still fit it in the post? It'll size it, or just wondering.
Depends where you're going to post it. If you
Okay.
wanted this to be a Facebook story or Instagram story, it needs to be vertical. So you would want the
Oh, okay.
vertical version. If it's going to be a Facebook post, right, or Instagram post, you would want the square version. So that's why I copy and resize it. So I've got my choice of both.
Okay. And then because of what the intent of this, we know that we're going to want them to click on the grant, like, oh, I'm interested in applying or I'm interested
So
in
that would
contacting this.
go in your description because
Oh, okay.
the post itself is not going to be clickable, right?
Okay.
Because it's you're going to download it as a JPEG or a
Oh,
PNG.
okay.
So that link in the post, you're going to say, "Are you interested? Click the link below." So you're making it easy. So you got to put the link in there.
Mhm.
But my 2 cents to you is if it's, and most links are these long things, go to something like a tiny URL or bit.ly and make that
Mhm.
link much, much shorter and easier for somebody to click on.
Okay. Okay. Because I know of sometimes people use the QR code. Do you recommend
QR
putting?
code is great, and you can do
Okay.
that right here in Canva. So if
Okay.
I go back here to Canva and I look at apps and I type in QR code.
Oh, and while you do that, we got a participant.
Oh,
Uh,
perfect,
yeah,
perfect.
Michelle. So while you do that, I'll let
So I just went
unmute
to
her.
QR code generator. You type in the URL, the long one, and it will generate a QR code for you. So, and then you just drop that into the image. Perfect.
Okay. I
So, Michelle, would you like to unmute
think she should be able to.
if you can?
Okay. Michelle, can you just have to unmute yourself.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
So, what
Okay, good.
type of business do you have? What industry?
Information technology.
So, give me an idea of something that you would like to post about.
Let's see. How about migration, cloud services?
Okay. So, I'm going to, again, I would start with ChatGPT. So, I'm going to say, give me a headline.
Okay.
So, would I call you an IT firm?
Yes, IT consulting.
Perfect. That wants to do a post about cloud migration.
Yes.
Now, the cloud migration, is that for what specifically would that be for?
It would be like moving your data over from, say, if you're keeping your data on a server and you want to now keep your data in a cloud to keep it safer, or just for
Perfect.
redundancy.
Okay, perfect. So let's see what it says. Seamless cloud migration, secure, scalable, and future ready. I think that's pretty appropriate, right? So
Yes.
I would copy that. Remember, we're going to start by making this post. So now, I would start with our Facebook post. And we're going to find a design that we like, just like we started. So I'm going to put IT services. And again, you can totally customize anything, and you
Uh-huh.
just pick one that you like for whatever reason. So, trying to see.
Okay. I would say just pick one.
Okay, I'm gonna pick this one just to show you how it would work.
Okay.
So I would
Okay.
take the text we got from ChatGPT: seamless cloud migration, secure, scalable, and future ready. So I liked this one because it gave you some options for services. So
Right.
relating to cloud migration, can you give me 3 subsections?
Relating to cloud migration, let's just say
You know what? I can just take it.
platforms,
I can take it
like
from, okay, so client forms.
platforms.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, because there's several different types of platforms like Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, etc.
Okay, give me one more thing. I need 2 more things.
Scalable.
I'm just going to take the text that ChatGPT gave us. So,
Okay, that's fine.
because it gave us 3 things there.
Okay.
So I'm liking this already. So it says
Me too.
secure, scalable, future ready. So stand out and
Yes.
succeed with whatever you would want for your little sub headline. Let's see if
Uh-huh.
ChatGPT can give me a short sub headline.
Okay.
This is exactly how I use this for myself and for my clients. Move your business data to the cloud with confidence and ease. Perfect.
Yeah, that is perfect.
And I would put that here where we have our sub. And then I just make it fit in here. Obviously you would, I like the contact us now for consultation, put your phone number. And then if I wanted some element, what are the colors of your business? What are your brand colors?
It's like a brown, white, green.
Look at that. That's kind of
muted colors. Yeah.
And then to change the colors, you just click on it. That's kind of like an acid color green. If we wanted to go with just a brown or a different color green, so easy to pick.
Yeah, I see.
Right? And then for the icons, you can just use these icons, or you can look up different icons here in Canva. Go to elements, and if I wanted to put secure icon, look at all these different ones that, I lost them, that look a little more like secure, right?
Oh yeah.
But
absolutely.
you just click on one, right? It takes it in. Now we don't want it black because you won't see it. So what if we made it that that green color that we were working with, or we made it white for this? Then I would delete this one, pull this one over, and then you just make it so that it's about the size of the other ones. I don't delete the other ones, so that's kind of how I make sure everything's about the same size. And then same thing, you can put scalable. And look, we have all these great little scalable icons that we could use. So if I use that, same thing, made it white. Get rid of our green little megaphone. And that, you can see, is really starting to customize this and make it reflect your brand and what we were talking about.
Yes, yes.
Perfect.
It looks so intuitive too.
It is. It's very easy. Like I said, I love this stuff, and I want to get you all excited about playing with it yourself. But it is so easy. And if you make a mistake, there's a little back arrow right here at upper left, the undo button. So say I made that too small, I can click on it, and it just keeps taking you back. And then if I want to bring it back, it was.
Nice. Very nice.
Absolutely. I'm so happy that we could show you that. Perfect. So, Veronica, is there, I know that there's some new things you want to talk about before we.
Well, yes, I do want to just let it was a great opportunity to do the post for the Facebook, because we want to let everybody know that we are participating with the LA County and the city with the, I can't remember the name, but for the Wildfire Relief Fund. So we should check your email from PACE or the newsletter, sign up for the newsletter in case you were affected, or if you know someone who was, so they can get that information. So the amounts are from 25,000 to 5,000. And the really great thing is that once a business is selected, the use of funds, they actually put no restrictions. So as long as it's like used for your business, you don't have to like, oh, it's only rent, or it's only this, or it's only that. No, it's very, and then apart from that, I did want to just, if,
Do you want to share your screen?
yeah, I wanted to share the upcoming webinars, for the series. Let me see. It just also went away. I mean, I don't know. I noticed on Zoom, if it's not up front, like if it's not on your screen, it just disappears. But okay. Let's see. Oh, here we are. So today was one part of 6. So the next session will be, if you can read, let me see.
March
If you can read it.
6th.
Yeah, I made it too big. Okay, so March 6th, from 1 o'clock also to 2, it's Canva Kickstart for your business. So unlock the creative potential of Canva to design eye-catching marketing materials.
We'll be taking a deeper dive than we did today. And if you are going to be coming, make sure you come with questions and want to talk, because again, we're going to make it as interactive as we can.
Yeah, and I think it's a great opportunity. I know Ronnie at the end will share like you know, the what she created with the participants. So yeah, let us know if you're, you know, interested in being, but even before then, like if you know you would like to participate, let us know and then we can make sure to unmute you so you can participate. Uh and then let me see. We are having our annual Lunar New Year, and you should be getting Pace's annual. It's like a fundraiser, and it's this Friday, and you should be have gotten the email for that as well. But apart from that, that's all for now. It was a quiet group. We didn't get any questions. Oh,
I
we got that
know.
nice, cute heart, but we didn't get any questions. So, oh, and then Ronnie, maybe you can tell them about Canva. Don't they have like a free trial or yeah?
Yeah, so Canva does have a free option, and then they have a paid subscription option. So the free option has a lot of pieces that you have to pay for in a, you know, one by one. So I always recommend try the free version, and if it is, you know, not working out for you, the paid version is very, I think, return on investment is terrific. Usually it's I think it's about $130 a year or something, so very cost effective. But the free version is a great place to start and start playing around. It may not have the elements that it will have them, but you would have to pay for them individually. So I think over time, the paid version for me works out better. And all my demos are done in the paid version.
But I think the paid version is not that expensive, right? It's only like
No, in
$15
fact,
or
let me see real quick if I can find out here what it is. So the free version, then they go to Canva Pro for one person, $120 a year, and then they have teams with a minimum of 3 people, and then they have, you know, even bigger than that. So you know, whatever is appropriate for your business. But for me, $120 a year is remarkable.
It's really inexpensive. It's like $10, isn't it? $10 a month.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. And then also I would just encourage you to go ahead and open the account before the next class so you can play around with it. So when you come back, you will actually have more questions like, oh, I was trying to do this and I didn't
That
know
would
how to
be
do that.
great.
Yeah. So yeah, I encourage you to create the free account. Yeah, and so we will see you back here next month for March 6th. And thank you everyone for participating, for joining us today. And thank you again, Ronnie. As always, you did a fabulous job.
My
Um,
pleasure.
so have a great day, rest of your day, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you so much.